Hello everybody and welcome to the homework helper for section 2.2. We'll go ahead and start with the first section here in the ready, which is solving simple logarithmic equations. And it gives a nice little statement here so that we never forget exactly what we're doing when we're working with our logarithms. And it's the answer to a logarithmic equation is always the exponent. So we're trying to figure out what the exponent is that causes our base to become whatever the logarithm is of. So we're trying to figure out 5 to what power is 625. To be able to do that, you kind of have to explore your powers, know your 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. And we see that we did 4 5s there, so we know that the logarithm is going to be 4 because 5 to the 4th power is what's going to be 625. So keep that in mind as we go through that. For example, look at number 4, 9 to what power is 81? Well, that's going to be squared because 9 squared is 81. Number 3 is a little bit tricky because it gives it to us in a decimal. And as always, I prefer fractions. So when I see 0.2, real quickly in my head, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what that is as a decimal. It's in the tens place, so that means it's the same as 2/10, which reduces down to 1/5. And aha, now that I see that we're doing log base 5 of 1/5, it's a little bit more clear what that power would be because 1/5 is just the inverse of 5. So we know that the answer would be -1. Okay, so that's all of that. Next, let's go ahead and look at the set here. This is where we're going to be exploring transformations of logarithms. Before we can begin to look at the transformation, it wants us just to kind of look at the graphs and try to figure out what's going on. When it says here f of x equals 0, remember for our function notation, the f of x is our output. So this is our output, or to put it another way, this is our y value. So when it says, what is the value of x? So what is the value of x when f of x is 0? So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3. So at 0, what is our x at? Well, here's 0. Here's where our logarithmic function touches it, and this is 1. So I'd say the value of x is 1. And then ask what is the value of f of x, or of x when f of x equals 1. Well, here's 1. Here's where it touches, kind of. Yeah, that looks close enough. So that'd be 2. That would be 2, and etc. So essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking over each of these. We're going to be trying to make sure we know what we're being asked, if it's asking for f of x or x. See, for number C here, it says, what is the value of f of x when x is 2? So we're given the x. X is 2. Whoops, x is 2. My bad. What is the value of f of x? That would be 1. Okay. We need to know what we're looking for. Remember, the y is our f of x, and the x, of course, is just our x. Let's go ahead and continue on to the go. It wants us to simplify each expression, and it wants us to have only positive exponents. So whenever we have a power being raised to another power, we have to multiply our exponents together. So this becomes 2 to the power of 3 times 4, or 2 to the 12th. Okay, let's jump around a little bit though. Like, look at number 17 here. We're going to be raising x to the 5th to the 2nd power. So that's going to be x to the 5 times 2, or x to the 10. And now that we have the like bases, we can just add it together, x to the 12th power. Okay. When we look at something like, let's say, number 22 here, how all of it is squared, well, that's going to be 2 squared, a cubed squared, and b squared squared. So make sure you apply it to everything equally. All right, and that should do it. We will go over the next section next time.